with two small children and blew himself up while his people stayed on the grounds. You can deduce what kind of person it is based on that activity. So that would be just my empirical observation of what he did. I'm not able to confirm anything else about his last seconds. I just can't confirm that one way or another.
That is one of America's top commanders back in October refusing to echo President Trump's fictionalized story about killing of ISIS's leader.
Because killing the head of ISIS wasn't enough.
No. Well,
you had to add to that.
To add color to that. Now America's defense secretary is refusing to endorse the president's claims about the specific threat against U.S. embassies posed by Iran.
Well, the president didn't say there was a tangible, he didn't cite a specific piece of evidence. What he said is he believed.
Are you saying there wasn't one?
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies. What I'm saying is I share the president's view that probably my expectation was they were going to go after our embassies.
Because, again, the killing of Soleimani, the probably most influential military leader across the Middle East over the past 30 years, that wasn't enough. You had to make things up. Of course, he had to make things up because they made things up from the very beginning. The attack was imminent. They were coming for us.
How does the Secretary of Defense not have?
But you know, though, you could even see last weekend. By the way, Trump administration, why do you send people on Sunday shows? It's not like anybody ever leaves and they're like, wow, that worked out well for us. Yeah. Like every week. Like, Jonathan, Lemire, you should. Why? Every week. Why do they do? By the way, the Patriots still out of the playoffs.
They didn't let us back in. No.
They did not let you back in this weekend. But, I mean, I should say last weekend, you actually could tell from Pompeo's answers that they were just making up the stuff about imminent. Like, Pompeo was having to push back, and it became very obvious after his 14th interview that Sunday that there was nothing imminent about it. And now we, of course, find out that from the SecDef that Donald Trump was making things up about, they were going to attack 87 embassies. It's just no truth to it.
From the beginning of this administration, one of the things that the president prizes most is the willingness of aides to go on television to defend him, even when it is defending a falsehood. So we have seen this now both of the last 2 weekends where top aides, Pompeo, as you say, and this week Esper, have gone out there and done the Sunday show circuit to make their case, to try to have to reverse engineer, to justify the decision the president has already made. We've seen in the past over outright lies. We've seen Stephen Miller and others walk up on the Sunday shows and talk about the millions of illegal votes.
But as my mother would say to one of her children, I will not say which one it was. No. Why do you lie when telling the truth would be so much better?
And unnecessary, as you say. Like, no one is going to question the killing of al-Baghdadi, but the president had to sell it with these details, sort of make him tougher and make the terrorist leader look weaker with the whimpering and the crying, details that no one was ever be able to confirm, where there was no audio ability for the president to have heard that. Yeah. And then now, I mean, those are in some ways smaller things than this. This is justifying a military attack that could and still could have destabilized a region. Yes. And now they're seemingly falsifying intelligence. We know that senators and others say they were not presented with anything, even in a classified material about threats about embassies. Yeah.
By the way, I'm getting a report in from the family desk. Actually, my mother said that about a cousin.
Oh, that's very nice. Okay, it's a whole different story, though.
Potential suspects.
As you can see, we have Lemire. Eddie Glaude Jr. joins us. Steve Kornacki.
The rage.
We have Adrian Elrod with us as well, and national security expert Tom Nichols, author of The Death of Expertise. And you are writing about Trump as it pertains to the truth. Jump in.
It's remarkable because they had a compelling narrative, and they had a narrative that would have worked. You could argue that it was an unwise policy, that they shouldn't have taken their shot when they did, but they could have gone out and said, look, it's a bad guy. We took him off the battlefield. That's what we do. Other presidents wanted to do it. We're the guys that actually did it. And instead, they've added an argument that if it's falsified, if it turns out to be wrong, they're actually in trouble because they've now staked everything on this imminence. It's kind of like going and saying, talking about WMDs, right? There were 100 reasons to take out Saddam, but if you rely on one and it's the wrong one, then suddenly you're in trouble for lying. It's a remarkable thing to see an administration keep lying when it doesn't have to.
Well, and what we've heard Steve Kornacki time and again, and it kind of drives me a little batty, people going, oh, it doesn't matter. He gets away with it no matter what. Nothing ever attaches to Trump. It's as if the 2018 election didn't happen. It's as if Democrats didn't win the largest landslide ever by vote total in the history of the American Republic for a midterm election. It does matter, and you look at the polls on the killing of Soleimani, and people are asked whether they support it, whether they feel safer about where they are now because of the killing of Soleimani. And it's a landslide. Donald Trump loses. They don't feel safer. They didn't support it. I'm not saying that would have changed the calculation for a lot of people. I'm not looking at polls. But there is an impact to all the lies, whether it frustrates people in the Democratic Party and or the media or the Democrats in the media or not. There is an impact, and that is that people don't trust him. He's lying about it, so it makes them feel like, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling especially safe about my commander-in-chief blowing up the most powerful military figure in the Middle East right now.
The impact of the entire Trump style is on your screen right now. It's the approval rating is 43% in that ABC poll. Overall, I think the average right now is about 44%. You know, somebody who got elected not winning the popular vote, somebody with a majority disapproval rate. It's certainly possible he'll get reelected this year, but
this ABC poll is obviously his handling of the situation with Iran, and only 1 out of 4 voters think that America is safer now because of the killing of Soleimani.
And his approval rating just overall as president, I'm sorry, I read that graphic wrong. I thought that his approval rating right now in the average is 44%. So it's right along that. That's tracking with basically opinion of Donald Trump and his performance as president right there. This has been true for 3+ years right now. This is a president who is capable of getting elected by the slimmest of margins. I would say capable of getting reelected by the slimmest of margins. But it's also it's also possible it can all fall apart. When you look at where opinion is on the state of the economy and things like that, his approval rating is not tracked with it.
Well, and by the way, right now, we've got record high markets, record low unemployment. He's sitting at 44%. His advisors need to cross their fingers. I'm hoping the economy stays strong, but I know they're really hoping the economy stays strong, because if not, Katie, bar the door. By the way, speaking of Katie, bar the door, because that's